I don't know. I guess I know what happened. I do know what happened. The circuit breaker got tripped because I had the air fryer going and the AC going at the same time. So kind of messed everything up, messed up the whole video. I'm so sorry, people. Kind of messed you guys up. And now my lighting is all messed up as well. It's like, gosh, it's like so annoying. So annoying. Now I look like, remember that? I don't know what that movie was. That was like the scary movie. This is like scary movie Lena. Do do do. So I'm trying to get Facebook to work again, but seems to be on the blink. On the blink. I did have a lot to share tonight with all of you. You know, a lot of things have happened. So I'm going to write 1 month or so since continued on Facebook. So hopefully my friends on the Facebook can. Okay, I'm live on Facebook again. Thanks, guys, for not sticking around. Nobody's watching anymore, but it's okay. I'll just put this out there. Whoever chooses to watch this video, then you'll get to see. You know, hi Jan. It's Jan Bucher, my friend from Rhode Island. You rebel sounds so fun. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's me. That's me. That's me. Somebody asked me, what are you doing tomorrow? It's like, well, I'm doing nothing. And you know why? Because it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. So it's really not much that I can do. I'm going to drop the temperature of this air fryer meal. Hopefully, ooh, I think I'm close to being done. Let's see. This is all air fried food. Let's see. Yeah, the potatoes are okay. You can't really tell. It's potatoes and it's the kitchen sink. It's the whole kitchen sink, including all the spices. And that means I can turn on my AC because it's a little muggy out today. Yep, it is. Little muggy. So I had an eventful month. Those of you who've been following me and stuff on social media, I'm just gonna leave it in the bowl. It's like, leave it in the bowl, might as well. So I'm gonna tilt the camera down, not too far, because then you can't see my head. Okay, so anyway, I had a very eventful month, I would say, everyone. Don't you think? I'm sure that you following my drama in my life, and I just watched Mark's my husband that I'm separated from. I just watched his 1 month video, and I decided I was gonna, kind of make my own version of the same kind of thing. Um, he's like, Lena loves the mall. And it's like, it's not that I'm very high maintenance or anything like that. It's just that I like the mall, and I haven't gone to the mall ever since we've been together. So, you know what? I'm going to try sitting on a chair. How about that? Sitting on a chair and eating my food. Let me see if that works today. Yeah, I'm going to set this down. My wonderful air fryer. And I'm going to move this chair a little bit. And I'm going to move this. Oh, my coffee mug fell. I'm like so organized, am I not? And possibly the lighting will be a little better for everybody, because I'll get closer to the light and be able to adjust it. I'm so picky. I guess it's not in my eye, so it's better. It's better that way than to be in my eye. But I have, let me see, tomato sauce, a cooking base called Recaito. It's a Puerto Rican cooking base. I have carrots and the bean sprouts from the Hatian market, Asian market. I have 2 veggie burgers in here. I have a half an onion in here, and corn, and water, and let me see what else. Scallions. Yeah, got a lot in here. I'm a hungry girl. And it's because I tried out my new blades and loved them. Loved them. Those of you who've followed me in the past know how much I love blading. Blading for me was always fun. And I always had a good time doing it. But ever since the accident kind of slowed me down, I wasn't able to do it very much. And I did it some in Florida, but not a lot. Well, this past month has been a month of adjustment. I did want to respond basically to Mark's assertion that I'm like some place that I need to get something out of my system. Honestly, the whole idea of being a person that likes to shop or whatever, that's just me. That's just my own personal, my own personal person. I was like that before I transitioned. I'm like that now. I was like that before. So it's not like I have to get it out of my system, because I don't. I mean, it's just, I think it's cool to shop. I think it's fun, to just get out there and to meet people at the stores, to interact with people, to just, have a sense of community at the local mall, And it's not really about buying anything either. If you can buy stuff, then great. But, if you can't, then that's great too. I mean, it's just a matter of getting out there, interacting with people, and having a great time. He says he's a man of the earth, and he's looking for a woman of the earth. Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't that woman of the earth that he was looking for, but I've never been a woman of the earth or any other gender of the earth. I'm just me. Um, it's great that he likes his simple life, and it's great that he loves Silver City. That's wonderful. I mean, different strokes for different folks. But for me, I mean, and I don't want to be like, he says, no judging, but then he says, Linda needs to get it out of her system. And it's like, is it a flaw to like to go out to a mall? Especially in my situation where I basically deprived my own self from being able to go anywhere shopping. I mean, we had, oh God, we had stores in Silver City, cute little boutiques. I mean, cute little stores that sold really neat items. Barely ever went. At Christmas time, we went and bought a bracelet or something and, some earrings. But other than that, we never went shopping at all at any time. And anytime I went, it was always disparaged or like looked at as a flaw or something. And I'm like, some people just like it. It's just fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love nature and being a woman of the earth or a person of the earth. With regards to being able to experience beautiful places like we did when we were on the journey. I mean, I love that too. But I love, I love like big cities. Big cities are like eye candy for me. Going to Las Vegas and looking at the buildings and seeing all the different lights and the people and the busyness and the cars and the lights and I say lights. I like lights, I guess. You see all this stuff and it's fun. It's all what man can do. Hi, Jane. Thank you. I did this thing where the air fryer and the air conditioner didn't get along, so it tripped the strip. So I didn't have to literally go down to the basement, although I did, and Tiffany helped me. But I went down to the basement, but that wasn't the problem. So I was able to troubleshoot it, thankfully and gratefully. But it's one of those things. I love the city. New York City is like one of the coolest places that I could ever visit. I wouldn't mind living there for a spell during my lifetime sometime. Just to be able to, gosh, I hate that. That one hair. Come on back. Where are you going to go? Are you going this way or that way? I'm not sure. So I really do like urban experiences, and it's really fun. I mean, I don't thrive best in a country setting. I just don't. I need stimulation, things to do. Mark doesn't, and that's great. But he did live in a high rise in Hollywood Beach in a penthouse suite in a condo. He did have that experience. I've never had that experience. I didn't live a posh life, like that. Mine was shared with 4, 5, 6 people for most of my life. So we just come from way different backgrounds. And he's sizing up women at Walmart and having a great time trying to figure out what he wants to do. And he's talking about, the problems that we have as trans people and trans men specifically is that, they could be in a relationship with a woman, but if it gets time to be intimate, then that's when all the gloves come off and you gotta kind of tell the truth, right? About what's happening with you or what you are, originally. And that's hard. That's really difficult. But, everybody has struggles. Everybody's challenges. Everybody has these issues that they're dealing with. I mean, for me, it's one thing. And for someone else, it's something else. But everybody's got something to deal with, whether you're trans or I don't know, straight or gay or I don't know, whatever you are, there's always something that you're dealing with. Family dynamics, they all come to play, in your life, and you always have things that you're going to have to face in life. And it's how you respond to these challenges and to these, situations that you're confronted with in your life that determines, how you're going to grow, how you're going to learn, how you're going to change, how you're going to adjust, how you're going to focus on being a better version of you. Because let's face it, this is what, for me, my gender transition has always been about. It's always been about becoming a better person, finding peace within myself, to love myself and to accept myself. And, for me, that took me down the road of gender. For you, it may take you down a different road completely. But we can't stay stagnant. We've got to move forward. We've got to, keep our eye on being able to be the best person that we can be. And if that person is a more expressively feminine person, if that person is a more expressively masculine person, that's okay. You can forgive yourself. Allow yourself to have that freedom, So I wanted to talk about what I've been dealing with personally since I left Mark, and we separated a month ago it's been a month and 2 days, June 7th tonight, 11:08 in the evening. And the separation officially started when he dropped me off in Las Cruces on the Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May last month. It's been, for me, I've been the person that has been um, exposed to more change than he was. I heard him talking about not wanting to go for a walk. And I feel bad because we used to go for a walk all the time. We love walking. We were known as the walkers. That's what people were starting to call us because they saw us on the street corner or down a trail or down the street or in downtown. And we were walking, right? And they would honk at us. And they would say, "Oh, it's the walkers. How are you?" You know. I don't know. We were developing quite the following. The walkers. Not the comings, the goings. But good things, I guess every good thing has to come to a close. So we went our separate ways. And ever since then, I've really just sensed an adjustment where I can actually just be myself again. And I can just feel comfortable being as feminine as I want to be. And I know that Mark doesn't mean to be, hurtful or anything like that, but it was hard because I mean, dealing with family and struggles and things like that, it's like I couldn't give him what he wanted, and I mean, it was just hard, pretty much. So I just have learned that what I needed was just this ability to just continue my transition as I had started it. I find myself a lot more happy. I find myself a lot more expressive. I find myself a lot more free. I find myself a lot more open. And I don't know. I just find myself like reconnecting with the essence of myself, and the reason that I even transitioned in the first place. So, saying all that, it's been a positive experience for me to be on my own. I mean, I I needed it. I needed it really badly because what I was becoming was not something that I wanted to be. I was, you know, I know I've talked about it, a lot. I've talked about it a lot. But the person that I was becoming was like a person that was like trying to bury themselves again. And who knew? With a trans guy. Hi, Jessica. Hope you're doing well tonight. Um, it was something that I didn't want to happen, was to just lose focus on myself, lose focus on why I did what I did and why I'm here, I mean, so Sherry, I think Mark forgets everyone's an individual. No two people are the same. And Teen says, more expressive is what I was thinking. But this isn't a video to bash Mark. I left that a long time ago now. I mean, it's been a couple weeks now. I'm not really disparaging him or saying anything mean. There's just no need for that. But the new experiences are like everywhere around me. People say, I'm responding right now to a comment someone said. That was really mean. I mean, I was like, wow, I can't believe people said that. But you're always going to have haters, always going to have haters. So if you're going to be putting yourself out there on social media, then you can expect to have haters. It doesn't matter who you are. President Donald Trump has haters, So, I said something about the fact that the guy that was stalking me or harassing me, or whatever, he was an African American, a black guy. Now, I'm a minority myself, so I know what racism is because I've been subjected to racism. Everybody in California was known as a Mexican. That's pretty much it. So if you were Latin at all, you were Mexican, and a beaner, a spick. I didn't grow up with white privilege. I didn't know what it was like to have that normal, upbringing. My parents struggled from a young age and made something out of their lives and everything. They worked hard, lived the American dream, bought a house, had kids in suburban Southern California, like the Brady Bunch or something. And they sent me to a Seventh-day Adventist private school in Garden Grove, California. And who goes there? Do gangbangers go there from Santa Ana? No. Do, bad kids go there? No. It's a school that was private, and it's a religious school. And I grew up in a very sheltered environment. I didn't grow up going to public school, so I was a good Christian kid. So it hurts me when people say mean things, because, and I'm developing thick skin. Don't think that I'm just going to be like, roll over when I let people hurt me and stuff. I know by now, I've been on social media since 2014 with my transition. And I know how people are. And I know how they hide behind a keyboard and they type things out and they say things. And they're rude a lot of times. And they're hurtful. And they just want to get your ire up and get you upset or get you frustrated. And, I'm not going to let that happen because I know I am, whether you see me as a man or a woman or in between or whatever you want to see me as, I am a beautiful person. So that is all I care about. It doesn't matter to me what other people think about me. If they say, oh, you're a man in a dress, whatever, I have to live my life, okay, every single day. I know the perception that I have on people, and I know how, I work to be the best trans woman that I can be. So I do the work in order to make myself blend into society as best as I can. I know I'm not perfect. I know I don't have, sometimes I go, gosh, I have such a man face. I hate that, but, other times I'm really comfortable with myself. And, it is what it is, people. I wish I had bigger boobs, 6 months from now, maybe I will, who knows. But I'm not like gonna be all like damsel in distress. Oh my God, somebody said something so mean to me. I gotta go hide. Like I would get off of social media because I was like embarrassed back in 2014 when people were like, you'll never be a woman. You're always going to be this, that, the other. It's like, I didn't have thick skin. Given all the things I've been through, hell and back, a car flipped over 15 times down at the bottom of a mountain. Do you think for a second that I am going to like shrivel up and fear? No, I'm not, because I've been through too much shit in my life. I mean, you people that followed me know the shit I'm talking about. But, they were like, you're being racist because, you've said the same thing about some other black guy that you met that indecently exposed himself, and you got in the car with them. And it's like, what is it your thing against black people? I have nothing at all against black people. Never have, never will. Personally, I feel more safe in a white neighborhood. It's just my own thing. And I know that, trans women of color are the ones that are assaulted the most. And who does the assaulting? It's usually black men of color, right? It's what happens. So I'm just like, if you want to paint me as a racist, go right ahead. I know in my heart I'm not. I may have been raised with some, racist ideology or something. I'm not going to say I wasn't. My dad was old school. He didn't like Mexicans, and he's Puerto Rican. But white people would say, you're all the same, it's like Asians, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. A lot of people lump that culture group, although they're very diverse and very different. Very different. They lump them all as Orientals, they call them, and it's sad because there's cultures that have differences. I mean, the Japanese are not the same as the Chinese. Puerto Ricans are not the same as Mexicans. We don't eat tortillas, although I'm from California, so I do. We don't eat salsa, although I'm from California and I love salsa. I love salsa. And guac. I love guac. So I'm like an honorary Mexican, right? Because I was born in Santa Ana in Orange County, the headquarters for the gang F Troop, which is like a big gang in Southern California. And my dinner is very good. I think I made too much. But it's like a goulash. It's very colorful. Hate it when the camera doesn't let me focus. My potatoes could be softer, but I love having my AC. So if my potatoes taste a little bit like carrot in consistency, so be it. I'm not picky. Oh, it would be nice if they were fluffier. But it's late. It's 11:30 and I'm eating. So but today, so anyway, you can say what you want and call me a man in a dress or a man in a wig or whatever you want to say. I know who I am. And I'm grateful to be me, grateful to be me, as you should be grateful to be you, you know, and just be the best you that you can be. Now, I could have been like laid into them and said, yeah, you anonymous jerk. I mean, you're a hateful bigot and ass and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, you know what? Why play in the playground with children? What's the purpose of that? I mean, it's like, someone on the playground, say for instance, when we were 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, saw the little kid with glasses on and they made fun of them. Or the young girl who had, gone through puberty earlier than some other girls, and her breasts were bigger at a certain age and she didn't feel comfortable about it, but people around her started calling her Chester or something. I mean, it's like, those are childish games. Somebody on YouTube on the video that I did about being harassed by that black guy, said some really mean things. 2 people did. But why drag yourself into a playground and argue with a toddler? I'm 48. I'm not going to say, you got 4 eyes. It's like, what purpose is that? There is none. So I choose the high road, and I choose to, I told them this. I said, I don't care if you hate me. It gives me another opportunity to love. Love is easy. I mean, EASY, when people love you back. Super easy. But love is so much more difficult when you don't feel that love from somebody else and you feel their hatred or their disparaging comments. And basically, you have an opportunity to love them back. The term goes, kill them with kindness, So that's what I did. I just said, you won't find me saying mean things to you. So I just want to tell you, I love you. But remember to always love yourself. No, that's Mark saying. I love you. And you can say whatever you want to say, but I still love you. You can call me whatever you want to call me, but I'll still choose to love you and to treat you with decency and respect, because that's how I was brought up, to treat people. The golden rule was do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if you don't want to say mean things to you, then don't say mean things to other people, because that is something that God will deal with, you about. If you're going to be hurtful, you'll be put into situations where you're going to be challenged and you have to rise to the occasion. It reminds me, that show Undercover Boss. There was this employee working at the Moe's burrito shop or whatever that's all over the country. And he goes into a place in Atlanta or somewhere, and there's this junior manager in training, this young guy, maybe 20, fresh out of high school. He's making all kinds of shit, talking about people, putting people down, telling them they're slow and that they need to do their job. And the CEO is there and he's doing the same exact thing to him. CEO was like, does he not realize? Obviously, he doesn't, but this cannot fly in my company. Nobody should treat anyone like that. So, as the show goes, right, after everything's done, and they reveal that they're actually the boss and the owner of the company, the president and CEO of this, massive chain of restaurants. The young guy shows up and he sees the guy, his boss over him that signs his checks basically. And he's like, oh my God, you're that guy? Oh, I'm in deep trouble. And you know what? That guy could have fired his ass, super easy. But you know what? He chose to use it as an opportunity to give the guy a chance to grow. He offered him to mentor him, to help him become a better person. The guy said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. And, that's the thing. We could either, feel like we've, that we've made a mistake and that, we can't fix it, or we can grow, learn, humble ourselves, and change. This is like, I made too much. I did. Look at this thing. Bean sprouts in here. And I'm getting full. How was your day? What did you do today? I went on my first break-in trial of my new rollerblades, which are back there. I'm not going to get them, but in the other video I showed them and they were, gosh, I hate this hair. It's like, come on, where are you going to go? Come on, just figure yourself out. So I went on a long rollerblading excursion. I took off and went down to St. Paul. And then I hopped on a bunch of trails, bike trails everywhere, like I was saying to you guys. Harriet Island Regional Park is connected to a trail system, and the trail system goes on and on and on and on forever. And it connects with another trail system, and you're going to be out there for like 100 miles and still not be done, right? So eventually I got by the airport and close to the Mall of America. Now I wasn't going to go in because I'm on rollerblades. Can't really rollerblade and go to the Mall of America. So I caught light rail to downtown Minneapolis. Rested my feet. I think I went a total of like 20 miles. My rollerblades today. And my shins are barking at me. Now, my feet did shrink from what they were experiencing with the swelling. So that's all good. But the rest of it, my butt hurts, my shins hurt. I didn't have the right socks on, so I had little short socks, so I kind of grazed my legs with the material from the skates. So that's not feeling really comfy right now. But I don't know, I had a kind of crazy crazy idea anyway. to go see a guy that I had met before, that I was in a relationship with prior to meeting Mark. His name was Tony, and Tony and I went out from late August to October-ish, and I stayed at his place. He gave me a room, and then in November, I paid him to stay there still. And I went over to Pillsbury Avenue in downtown South Minneapolis, where he lived, and I knocked on his door, and I wanted to say hello, surprise. Well, I knocked, and then I saw somebody's eye kind of peeping through the little door thing, but nobody came to the door. Now, I don't know if he's still alive, but I just want to get some closure to see if he was doing okay. But nobody opened the door. So I left and then made my way back towards light rail again, and caught the train going back to St. Paul, and then hiked my way up the hill back to Paula's house. So that's what I did with my day. It was late, probably 8 o'clock by the time I got in. So that's the reason I'm eating so late. But I wanted to talk about some of the things about being gone for a month, living in Minneapolis, St. Paul. New experiences, financial challenges, times of loneliness. Being able to think and to have time for myself in this little room, able to just, kind of put things into perspective, and, it's been a crazy ride. And I'm not going to say being single is the greatest thing, because I'm not used to it. I've never really been alone. After I got married at 27, I was never alone. T-Bear, come here. I want to say hi to you. How are you today? Oh, you're tired? Oh my gosh. So, should I just put you down? Okay. I'll just set you down on the pillow. Like that. There, oops. So people can see you. Like, right. There you go. Right next to the paper roll. Paper towels. So, adjusting to life without Mark. And some of it's good, I will admit. And he admits it too, because he's like, I can arrange things, nobody has to change it for me. He's very OCD that way, right? So he likes his things a certain way. And that's not a fault. It's just a personality trait. And it's a wonderful thing. Thank God for people that are OCD, because, they make sure that cars are safe, or that roads are clean, and, able to be efficient, or trains are fast enough to get you from point A to point B, and planes and OCD people are necessary, but so are the artists. And he's an interesting combination because he is an artist, but he's also OCD. So he's pretty unique. I was just walking or rollerblading, and this guy like goes up, like starts talking to me and says, "You have a very nice tan." And I'm like, if you only knew that this isn't a tan. Of course, here in Minnesota, if you have dark skin, then they assume you have a tan or whatever. I am Puerto Rican. I am the darkest of all my family. My mom isn't as dark as me. My dad wasn't as dark as me. My sister isn't as dark as me. My extended family is not as dark as me. They are a lighter, paler skin color. I was given the gift of being darker skinned. And that's because I think my grandmother on my dad's side was a Taino Indian, and she had that in her DNA, and that's what I got, you know. So I'm proud of my skin color. I like being a darker skin. It's nice. It's a reddish brown. It's a beautiful tint. I love it. You know. So I know there's a lot of people that are jealous of me having darker skin. But I also realize that traditionally in society, Western society especially, it's been something that people have always placed those on the social ladder that are wider at a higher bracket, you know, of wealth and stuff. So, for instance, if you watch Telemundo or Univision, you'll see people on there, men or women, that are blonde hair, blue eyed, maybe, or very light skin. You'll never see like a darker skinned person as often, right? You'll never see that on Mexican television, because it's almost like this thing that white is more wealthy or whatever. And, I deal with it, but it is what it is. I know who I am. And God knows I am not rich to any extent. I mean, I barely, survive as it is, So, um, as a person who broke their neck and, you know, doesn't work, I don't make a lot of money. I know that for sure. This is the gift that keeps on giving. It's like Jesus and the 5 loaves and 2 pieces of fish. It's the same concept. Thank you, Jean. You said very nice things. You're a super beautiful person, and you can afford to eat more. You've been active. I have. I've been active. And what? I'm eating a potato. I'm eating corn. I'm eating carrots, bean sprouts. It's not really like fattening food. But people ask me, do you miss Mark? And I'm like, of course I miss Mark. He's been my best friend. You know, he was my good Samaritan. He rescued me. He protected me from harm. And oh, Becky, you're beautiful. You are beautiful. He protected me from harm. You know, yeah, I may have felt smothered at times, but he's a good person. So I do miss him. I miss conversation with him. I miss the intimacy. I miss his gentleness. You know, now he's like bulking up, and his voice is like dropping, just dropping. It's like he like showed me pictures, and he's focusing on the biceps, right? Whatever, the biceps, and I'm looking at his girth. You know, his like this body, his upper body, just like getting big. You know, and his biceps are getting huge. Just bought all kinds of creatine, glutamine, blah blah blah, you know, and he's gonna get big like a tank, you know. He wants to hit 150. And for a person that's 5'5", 150 is a pretty good sized person. All muscle, of course. Me, well, I don't want muscle. I do want tone. And I do want curves. He wants muscle. I want curves. You know, that's what I want. Because being off of E as long as I had been, any curvature that I had left, you know, because estrogen takes it to make it, you know. So now I'm on 4 milligrams of estradiol a day. I mean, 8 milligrams, and 200 milligrams of Spiro a day. And that's the first part of my regimen. Then we're going to go up to injections. And I'm not looking forward to that because it's got to go in my leg. Any inner muscular area. I mean, you could put it on your bicep, as long as you're hitting a muscle. Make sure it's a muscle, not a vein. Your tricep, back here. You know, anywhere that you can see muscle. I guess I don't know if I could put it like, right here or something. One of the packs, one of my 6 packs. I'd like to keep that, but I don't know if estrogen is going to let me do it. Hopefully it will. But I'm not going to cry foul if it doesn't. But people have been saying, wow, you were like a little chunkier before. You had more weight on your bones. And I did. I was a little chubby, you know, or had a little extra. And, you know, as a trans woman, you know, the fat that develops here is what it is. It's fat. It's not anything else. So if you gain a little bit of weight, then it could transfer to your breast size and affect it in a positive way, you know. But you run the risk of getting fat. And I've worked so hard not to be fat. I don't want to be fat. It's like, no, I don't want to be fat. What exactly does the Spiro do? Because I take that for water retention. Acne, I'm also cis. Nicole says, hi, Lena. Hi, Nicole. I think you can gain weight and still keep the six pack. That's good. Jebusy 666. Cool. The Spiro is actually a diuretic, and it's given for cardiac patients as a heart med to help control their heart medication. I mean, their heart rate and stuff like that. For trans women, it's known to be a off-the-shelf use as a testosterone blocker. So there are other drugs that are approved for use in other countries that are probably better than Spiro, but that's the one that the FDA has approved in this country to be used. It allows a trans woman to take estrogen at a lower dose than she would if she wasn't on Spiro. So there's definite benefits. The diuretic I knew from before, but when I heard about that for trans women, I was always curious. Yeah, you know, you have to watch out for your potassium levels. And people say, oh my gosh, I can't eat as many bananas. Well, it's like a wives' tale that bananas are supposedly like the king of all potassium. It's not. I mean, just do some research on your own and you'll see that, you know, there are other foods. There are other foods out there that actually have more potassium than a banana, you know. So a banana gets the, you know, what is it? When something gets blamed for stuff, I forget. There's a terminology for that. I think what I don't know if it's something that estrogen does or not, but I feel like my sense of direction isn't as keen when I'm on estrogen. I did a video way back when, and I was talking about traveling in Pennsylvania. I was working for NBC, and I had to get to the Philadelphia or the Pittsburgh airport or something, right? And I had a plane to catch. I punched in the coordinates for the airport in Pittsburgh, I think it was. And it sent me to an airport. Thing is, it wasn't the airport that I needed, the Pittsburgh International Airport. It was some little regional one. So, needless to say, I missed my flight and I had to rebook it. Thankfully, I made it in time. But I don't think that if I hadn't been on estrogen, that would have happened. I just don't. It really does. Hormones affect you in ways not just the physical changes and things like that, but also just emotionally, mentally. I found that, you know, I mean, it might be too TMI for some people, but sexually it changes your perception of how you experience sex and stuff. Um, it was very difficult to be off of Spiro as long as I was because, again, it might be too TMI. Sorry, this is my channel. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Um, Spiro actually reduces the ability for a hard on, right? Or a morning hard on or something, right? And there's nothing more gender dysphoric than a trans woman to have to wake up and to have to deal with that. Or to have to tuck, which is when we try to bury our little boy parts inside our body so that nobody sees them and we feel comfortable. And, you know, you just don't want to have a bulge in the middle of your pants. But it's difficult when you're not taking Spiro, because Spiro basically chemically castrates you, just so you're not able to, like, I know for me, I wasn't able to have any activity down there, kind of went away, just like I wanted it to anyway, right? Typically, we don't like it being touched, because we are disconnected from that body part and we know what it represents and we don't want it on us and we'd love for it to be gone. Now it's expensive, but that's kind of how we feel. So anything that hinders that and makes that front and center is something that's difficult for a trans woman to deal with. Wow, I think I'm almost done. Way too many bean sprouts. I was trying to use them up because I bought them. I mean, they were only $1.32, but I don't want them to go bad. And I was planning on using rice, but it got too late. But a month or so in, parts of it have been glorious. Going to the mall, right? My thing. Trying on outfits and dresses and interacting with women at the store and, introducing myself, kind of like being a regular and people would know me and stuff. I like that, I don't think that I need to get that quote unquote out of my system. I just don't. I think that if you like it, my back's starting to hurt. If you like that kind of thing, then there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you enjoying shopping. Now if it becomes an addiction and you end up dragging your family underneath, the ground for using up your credit card when you shouldn't have, that's a different story. That could be a problem. But if you're just going and you're just enjoying it and it's just something for you to do, You could do it till the cows come home. It doesn't matter. You're not a bad person for doing it. There's not like, you don't have to get it out of your system. It's just your personality. Some people like the indoors, and some people like this natural, earthy type existence. And other people like artificial lights. I mean, they're all beautiful in their own way. It's just, the most important thing is, can we learn to not judge people? For making decisions that are different from ours. Can we just learn to just appreciate the beauty of a person and not look at it as a flaw? I'm just saying. Life is too short to point your finger at anybody and to judge their life on anything, because you're not walking in my shoes. I'm not walking in your shoes, and we all have a different lesson to learn. And we're all in different places, not just of maturity, but actual, growth as a person. Some of us need to be challenged. Some of us need to be facing tremendous opportunities for growth. We all are in a different place. I'm so grateful for Paula. Opening her home up to me, giving me a place to stay, giving me her love and her ear whenever. She's a very sweet, sweet lady. And I consider it a real privilege and an honor to be able to live in her home for now and share life with her. It is. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. I'm always seeing new things, so I haven't had enough time to to miss Mark, really, because I've been exposed to so many different things. And I feel bad for him because everywhere he goes, pretty much, it's a memory of us. I don't blame him. Going for a walk. We used to go for walks all the time in every neighborhood, and I was the navigator. We had a good time. One of the last times we had a really cool time. We went and we just were little kids. We were kicking rocks down the street and taking turns, kicking it, and kicking it. And, it was fun. Simple pleasures, simple joys, just the simplicity of life. It was just really cool. That's when you can really detach from everything. And just be, But other times, The amount of dysphoria triggered was just overwhelming. It was very difficult. So I'm just grateful to be here at this time, in this place, and to have these people in my life right now, and to know that I don't have to worry about anything. I can just live my life and allow myself to just be me. Wow. Almost done. Somebody else wrote, I love shopping, but I also love going to the mall, getting active, and walking and getting my steps in. Teen says, my daughter said life is too short when she decided to get a little pixie cut for summer. Being in the moment can be everything. All really cool comments, you guys. Yeah, you just do what feels right for you. You know, do what feels good for you, and don't worry about others and what they think. You know, I mean, that's not your problem. You know, being in the moment is everything, because that's all we have. This moment, right now. Oop, gone. Right now. Oop, gone. You know, that's how fast moments go by. And having this moment to live and to continue living is imperative for us as humans. Not to focus on past, what happened, why, how we could have changed it, how we could have done differently. For a trans woman, it's like, oh, I wish I would have transitioned when I was 20. Yeah. And then the 20-year-old, I wish I would have transitioned when I was 10. It's like, it's always the same thing. It's the same struggle. You know, you always want what's greener on the other side of the fence. And what's growing now is what is right underneath your feet, you know. Yay! Corn chowder goulash was good. Needed some rice, but good flavor though. I like the sauce, very good. And now I'm gonna eat dessert. What do you think I'm gonna have? I am going to go back there and cut myself up an orange because I can. So, be right back. I know it's been kind of long. Actually, I'm gonna have this. Yes. Because nobody wants a good watermelon to go to waste. That would be a sin. Whoa, my Bluetooth speaker just fell. Hopefully it didn't fall too badly. Tight quarters, tight spaces, air fryers, cooking on a bed. It's insanity. So I got my cutting board. A baby banana. Yeah. I got this watermelon and it was $1.29 at the Asian market. And they're really good. They're really good. So I'm gonna cut half of it, this little thing, and just eat it with a spoon or a fork, whatever works. It's like, I love fruit, love fruit, and I love watermelon. Then go back to that store because it had some really good food there. But we'll see. Because Aldi's so much cheaper than everything else. This is my watermelon. So I'm going to eat this one and put this one in the fridge. Fridge time. Oh, bean sprouts. Oh, peppers. Everything's like packed in here. Oh, I hate that when bean sprouts fall out. Stick the watermelon back there. Back there, watermelon. Stuffaluffagus. Peppers back in there. And the bean sprouts, they're gonna go in the trash because I don't trust them anymore. I'm just wanting it to close. Just close. Peppers. Okay. Put this away. Put this away. I'm trying to pack this away so that it's not in the way. And close. Okay, got it. Okay. So I've got my dessert time. A fork and a half a baby watermelon. Ugh. It's almost going off. That's the thing about fruit. You have to eat it quick. Especially good watermelon. I mean, it's not as crispy anymore. But I guess in a smoothie it would be great. But that'll have to do. Good night, Becky. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Love you. So I guess this is a goodbye since people are probably getting ready to go to bed. It's like midnight here in the Central Time Zone. And I'm eating way past my window of time to eat. but I did some extra crap today that I just feel like I deserve to eat whatever I feel like eating. And I'll probably sleep till noon or something tomorrow. So happy Friday, everybody. And I'll be back. We'll talk, share. You too, team. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining me.